What's going on, my beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Urban Knowledge and Politics, brought to you by yours truly, Samuel Innocent. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about city council race. We're voting here in the primaries, September 12th, coming up. So this episode is going to touch on who's running for city council in the 41st district of Brownsville, Ocean Hill, parts of Bed-Stuyvesant, and what they stand for, what it's about, and why you should get out there and support the candidate that you think is best. All right, so to get it started, last week we talked about district leader and what they do in the community, right? This year we're talking about city council. So city council, right, is comprised of 50-something districts throughout all of New York City, right? So everybody who lives in New York City has a council district. I'll include a link in the description below so you can find out what your district is and where your voting poll is in this coming election. Now, in City Council, District 41, I believe we have something like 12 people running for that selected seat, right? And the names go as follows: Alika Samuel, Henry Butler, Victor Jordan, Royston Antoine, Leopold Cox, Maureen King, Corey Provost, Deidre Oliveira, Christopher Carew, John Grant, David Miller, Joyce Sheeran. All of that for one district, right? Comparatively, in the district next door, City Council District 42, we only have Inez Barron, Prince Lewis, and I'm going to butcher this, Mawoli Hormaku. Don't say that 3 times fast, right? So why is it like this? And why do we have so many people running in District 41? This is what it breaks down to. In city council, you have term limits. So every city council member can only serve 3 consecutive terms, right? So and each term is 4 years. So that equals out to about 12 years, right? So for the last 12 years, we've had one city council member. Her name is Darlene Miele. And this year, she can no longer run again. So it's kind of like open game. It's like what's a good comparison? It's like there was always that one swing on the swing set that everybody wanted to get to, but the biggest guy or girl in the yard always sat on that swing set, and finally they get up. So of course everybody runs towards that swing set, right? So this is why you have so many members running for city council in the 41st district, because they know it's an open seat per se is what they like to call it. So now in the voter guide, if you live in the 41st district, you should have gotten a voter guide with all these, with all the people that are running, their standpoints and what their 3, I guess, top issues are, and read up on it. See what relates to you and why you would like to vote for a person. I encourage you to do your homework, right? Because the primaries work like this. You're going to have so many people run for the primaries. After the primaries, it's going to dwindle down to who's going to vote in the general election, who makes the ballot for the general election, right? And then after general election, you're stuck with your choice, right? So you have these 2 opportunities to make a difference in your community. If you want to get out there and volunteer for a particular council member or for a particular candidate, I suggest you get out and do so. Get to know them, get to know their platform, get to know what they're about, and make your decision based upon what you feel is best, right? So now, what does your city councilman actually do for the neighborhood? Well, we'll take City Council District 41, which is Brownsville, Ocean Hill, Bed-Stuy-ish area, and we'll use Darlene Miele, who is the city councilman member at this time, as an example. Betsy Head Park, she gained the funding and helped with the design for that new rehabilitated children's park. You can look at on every street corner, you'll see just about every street corner, you'll see garbage cans and recycling bins, and they'll actually say provided to you by Councilmember Darlene Miele. That was one of her initiatives while she was city councilman, while she was and is the city council member for this district. Other things like stronger rent control laws and certain legislation to help seniors and people who may be her constituents. This is what city council members do. They lobby the government on your behalf and write laws, write proposed legislation and help push them along to become laws. So if you think you're paying too much rent and you think your landlord is taking advantage of you, you get a group of people together, present, your case to your council member, and they are supposed to fight with the city on your behalf. Now, New York City, let's talk about this special beast for just 1 second. New York City operates on a $75 billion budget. Let me say that again. $75 billion annual budget is what New York City operates on. This budget is larger than some countries' GDP, and it's larger than some entire state budgets, right? So now, that being said, out of this huge 75 million piece of pie, it's up to the 50 plus city council members to carve out a piece for the area that they live in, right? So now think about it. 75 billion is a lot of money, and it goes to support things like subsidies for aging citizens, senior citizens, new housing developments, aka we'll call them projects. It goes to subsidize small businesses and help small businesses get off the ground. This is where your money goes throughout the city budget. That's why it's important to vote for someone who you believe holds your best interest at heart, right? I truly believe with all my heart, Bed-Stuy wouldn't have became what it did if city council members had fought for the local population that was there, or it may have slowed the process down a bit. And you all know just what I'm talking about. So that being said, when you go out to vote, make sure you vote with somebody who has similar interests or has your interests at heart, because that's the only thing that will preserve your neighborhood and help propel your people forward. I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for because that's my personal decision. That being said, that's this episode of Urban Knowledge and Politics. Please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. But in addition to that thumbs down, please let me know how I can make the episode better. There'll be a quick poll at the bottom in the description. Are you going to vote on September 12th in the primaries, right? Because a lot of people feel like it's a waste of time. I want to know what my viewers feel. Are you going to vote? Do you know who your candidate is? Why are you voting for that person? So there'll be a poll in the description. Let me know. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.